Welcome to the May 2023 edition of MCBI-TV News. I'm Ayani Hughes. May kicks off with multicultural beauty brands partnering with Disney to introduce licensed products associated with the highly anticipated release of the live-action film, The Little Mermaid. Earlier this month, Carol's daughter introduced the Little Mermaid branded hair products in stores nationwide. Additionally, Black Girl Sunscreen introduced a limited edition collection available exclusively in Ulta beauty stores. Products from both brands are featured in limited edition Disney-branded packaging. In beauty retail news, 13 Lune, the direct-to-consumer online retailer of BIPOC-owned and allied beauty brands, who moved into brick-and-mortar retail through a game-changing partnership with JCPenney, has now opened a flagship store in Los Angeles. The Outpost in LA's Larchmont community allows co-founder Nakayo Greco to bring even more BIPOC-founded brands to the brick-and-mortar shopping experience, including her own skincare brand, Relevant Your Skin Scene. Between their store, JCPenney, and their website, 13 Lune carries over 160 BIPOC and allied-owned brands. May is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and MCBI reports and celebrates great news from these AAPI-owned beauty brands. Lived Tinted, founded by Deepka Mutyala, recently closed a $10 million Series A round of funding led by Monogram Capital Partners with participation by Unilever Ventures, Devonshire Partners, and Silas Capital. The brand has reportedly sold 1 million units since it launched in 2018 and is the first ever South Asian-owned brand sold at Ulta. It was named Ulta's Emerging Brand of 2021. Fable in Maine, the brand that honors the ancient Indian ritual of hair oiling, was just awarded the Holy Grail Beauty Award for Best Hair Oil by Cosmopolitan for their Maha Maine Smooth and Shine Hair Oil. The brand, owned by brother and sister duo Nikita and Akash Mehta, is sold in Sephora stores. This month, JCPenney Beauty launched an 11-piece gift set complete with AAPI-founded products sold in their stores. The kit contains essentials from fragrance to hair and body care by brands like Jason Wu, More Cosmetics, Derek Lam, and more. This month, Newsweek declared that makeup artist and beauty brand founder Patrick Ta is leading the way for inclusive beauty. In the online article, Ta says he wanted to make products that empowered people to feel comfortable in their own skin. Patrick Ta makeup is sold in Sephora and Kohl's. Market Insights Report recently released its 2023 Black Hair Care Market Trend, Demand, and Analysis Study. According to the research, the global black hair care market is expected to reach $9.56 billion by the end of 2023 and is projected to increase by 2029 to over $15 billion. The report names Procter & Gamble, Unilever, L'Oreal, and Revlon as the global market leaders for the black hair segment. MarketQuest released its most recent report on the outlook of the Acne Care market, with 2 multicultural skincare brands making the list of key brands considered in the growth of the category. Rosen Skincare, founded and led by Jamaica Martin, and Urban Skin RX, founded and led by Rachel Roth, are both sold in Target and Ulta stores. In other research news, a new survey revealed that Black women spend 4 times more than their white counterparts on hair care. The survey found that 21% of Black women spend 25% or more of their monthly budget on hair care, compared to only 5% of white women. Other comparisons the survey included were hair product pain points and salon visits. The survey was conducted by All Things Hair, a Unilever publication. You can read more on the survey's findings in an article on the website Girl Talk HQ. This month, a TikTok video gained traction from a woman who called out Walmart for charging more for makeup for darker skin tones. Darker hues of the exact same L'Oreal branded foundation was priced $5 higher than the lighter hues. Here's an excerpt of the video.
I took this picture because I was very disturbed by the fact that the same product has 2 different prices depending on the complexion of your skin. So the light tones were as you can see here, $6.97. And if you are my complexion or darker hues, need to pay $11.97 for the same exact product. Well, I didn't have the time, and someone in my comments said you should have told an employee. I explained to you why I couldn't, but I had time today, so I went back, checked, still the same. Found someone and said, hey, you need to come look at this because there's a problem. Showed them the issue, and it was funny because her face was like really caught off guard. I didn't say anything about race. I didn't say anything about color. I didn't say anything about the darker tones or charge more. I didn't say anything. I just said, clearly there's something wrong here. Can you tell me what's wrong? So she said, can you give me a minute and I'll be back. So she took a product from here and she left. And she came back. And when she came back, she said, oh, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give you the shade that you want for the $6.97, as if that was the solution. So I said, thank you, I appreciate that. However, I'm not going to be satisfied with just that, because no one who comes in with a darker complexion should ever have to pay more than a person that's lacking melanin. So I'm going to need all of these to be changed. Either everybody's paying $6.97 or everybody's paying $11.97, but we're not going to have two different prices based on the color of one's skin. Oh, okay, I'm going to take care of it right away. I'm going to do it. I will. I'll take care of this right away. So I left. I'll be going back. I'll be checking. In the meantime, when you're shopping, keep a watchful eye. Stay woke. These people are tripping. And it was Walmart. Not L'Oreal. It was Walmart. Sad.
Hair care brand Naturaz made its debut on shelf in TJMaxx this month. The brand, founded and owned by Mambi Dunjwa, is vegan, non-GMO, and makes the claim to be scientifically formulated to sustain 3 times more moisture in curly hair. In a recent article by Beauty Independent, Carson Life has joined the ranks of Latina-owned beauty and wellness companies who have surpassed raising $10 million in funding. There are roughly 50 hair, skin, vitamins, and sports nutrition products ranging in price from $6.99 to $29.99 under the Carson Life brand. Additionally, the Eva and Avo brand is part of the company's portfolio with products priced from $9.99 to $39.99. All have extensive distribution in over 9,000 mass, drug, and grocery stores, including Walmart, Target, H-E-B, Walgreens, and Giant Eagle. The brand's founder, Sonia Guzman, discussed their year-over-year growth and indicated that the company will soon seek Series B funding. Guzman said, quote, I have one of the strongest distributions out there for the Latina consumer. I have a woman-owned, minority-owned company. You invest in me, and you are changing the statistics in America, end quote. MCBI has previously reported that only 2% of all venture capital in the U.S. goes to Hispanic-owned businesses. We look forward to watching these brands grow under Guzman's leadership. Another Latina-owned and led brand has also crossed the $10 million fundraising threshold. Late last month, hair care brand Ceremonia raised $10 million in Series A, led by Sandridge Capital. The brand is sold in Sephora and Credo stores and is founded and led by Baba Rivera. Beauty United, the nonprofit organization with a mission to create lasting change in the beauty and wellness industry by making it more diverse and inclusive of BIPOC professionals, announced its very first class of fellows. These founders and professionals will participate in a year-long, in-depth program receiving mentoring, developing their business skills, and deep diving into inequality issues that people of color face within the industry. MCBI wishes each member of this new cohort the very best and will follow up on their progress throughout the year. The Walker texture typing system came into popularity during the natural hair movement of the early 2000s and has been used by brands to educate consumers about their texture. But now there's controversy over whether the typing system helps or hurts the natural hair community. Here's MCBI's Dwan White with more.
Celebrity stylist Andre Walker, best known for being Oprah's stylist for more than 25 years, introduced his hair texture typing system in the 1990s as a way to help discuss and understand hair across the texture spectrum. The system categorizes texture numerically, then uses lettering to describe the curl pattern. Types 1A through 1C represent straight hair, 2A through 2C wavy textures, 3A to 3C curly, and types 4A through 4C coily and kinky. This system was a game changer during the early years of the natural hair movement, helping Black women in particular better understand their texture type. Since, it's been the standard for how most brands in the ethnic hair space educate consumers on choosing products that work best for their curl pattern. Walker has noted that the typing system should be used as a general guide. But in recent years, the system has come under fire primarily for two reasons. One, suggesting it promotes texturism by favoring smooth curls over coily hair. And two, the system doesn't take into consideration other factors such as porosity and density and multiple textures throughout the hair, leaving consumers still confused about how to care for their curls and coils. A recent Refinery 29 article suggests that brands and consumers abandon this texture typing system that's been in place for over 30 years. MCBI connected with Atlanta-based Shaniqua Garcia, owner of the Pearl Salon Suites franchise, stylist, and educator to numerous hair care brands, and spoke with her about the system and alternate ways to educate about hair texture. Shaniqua, professionals, brands, and consumers have been using the 1A through 4C texture typing system for nearly 2 decades now. And it has been extremely helpful to the natural community to better understand their texture, but there's so many more conversations now taking place about whether or not is the most effective way to talk about texture and categorize texture and identify products that are best for your texture. So from a professional's perspective, what are some of the fundamental issues with the system?
I would say some of the fundamental issues around hair typing has been some of it is a lot of people have different textures, and we kind of miss the main idea of like your hair being straight, wavy, curly, and coily. And again, those are the foundations that we have been taught in cosmetology school. And so I understand, even though hair typing kind of still captures that information, I think even if you're dissecting it from the ABC, the different texture, within, if you're wavy or not, it makes it a little bit confusing, I think, from the consumer's perspective, because it could also just make them unclear about what texture their hair is. I know that I've gotten asked all the time, well, what type is this? And, and your hair does have different textures kind of throughout your head. But on the flip side, I do understand why the, product industry has adopted, this platform to communicate, with the consumer, because a lot of consumers were just really challenged with identifying what product works best for them, through their hair journey. And so I think that the bridge between the cosmetologist and then the the world of the hair typing, and bridging the two worlds together so that they can best support and help the consumer find what product works best for their hair. But I think at the same time, I think it shifts the professional out of the picture, and it leaves the platform of going to, different products and brands, and creating this hierarchy of they know best, and it kind of shifts the salon professional who went to school and understand, the hair and the process of, styling the hair, it kind of just shifted us into a different platform, I believe, which made it hard that when you're trying to educate them, they're like, well, the product brand said you need to do this, versus, well, I went to school for this, so I'm trying to explain to you, what's going to work best for your hair. So I think that has definitely been one of the issues and challenges, in doctoring, this is in our everyday, day-to-day styling and, business and world behind the chair.
Now, I'm understanding from what you're saying that cosmetologists are not taught this system. Is that correct?
That is very correct. This system is still not taught in the cosmetology, in Milady, cosmetology book, that is still not something that has been adopted because they feel as though, it doesn't really break down the true essence of the actual hair type and hair texture.
Well, with that in mind, how would you advise brands at this stage to re-educate consumers about their texture? What is the language and what's the approach to getting them to understand their texture and the types of products that work best for them?
To be honest with you, I really do feel like it might be a little bit too late. I think that question could have definitely been asked 1 decade ago, but now we're all the way in. And then so many people have already just kind of adopted that, that mindset of thinking of this is how I identify with my hair texture and hair type. I do think that during people's journey, during their process, they have maybe debunked certain products and certain, ways in which they think, oh, I thought this one way, but over trial and error, they have kind of just come around to really identifying like what product does work best for them, which ingredients work best for them, which process and technique, versus identifying it from, okay, this texture or this hair type, these are the list of products, because even in the list of products, some of those things still don't work for their hair texture, and their hair type. So I do think that it's some of it, because we are in a DIY, era, a lot of people is just trial and error. And so a lot of things that were at its height has kind of, died down a little bit, and people are found, really what works best for them.
This wraps up the May 2023 edition of MCBI-TV News. Next month, we begin our summer format. Instead of a monthly wrap-up, we'll present trending and breaking news briefs. Continue to count on MCBI for news, insights, and trends throughout the U.S. retail multicultural beauty vertical. Subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications to stay on top of the latest news. For informative content throughout the week, follow Multicultural Beauty Insider on LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm Ayani Hughes for MCBI-TV News.